If you're doing this YouTube thing on a budget like me and you're looking to upgrade your lights this year, then maybe you should have these lights on your list. Let me tell you why. As far as the body is concerned, when it comes to these light panels, it's not unique per se, but for me, who's only really dealt with soft boxes and umbrella lights, this is definitely different. All the lights are compact into this circular area. By the way, VILTROX says that this is a honeycomb design that they've adapted to these lights in order for you to not need a soft box. And no matter what, these lights always pump out soft light. And it works. It really does work exactly like that. These pump out very bright, soft light from this panel here. And thanks to the way they designed it, both with the plastic casing on the back and with the thin plastic shield here on the front, it's very cool to the touch. You don't get any heat, even after you've had these lights on for a couple hours or more. I use these lights while I'm streaming, and the only thing I get from these lights is some warmth on the back after you've had these on for about a couple hours or more on 100% brightness. It's very light, and also it's very flexible because when you flip it over on the back, you have this indicator here on the back that lets you switch through both the brightness and also the color temperature. So you can have a color temperature of down to around 3300 K all the way up to, I believe it's 5600 K. I'm gonna put it up on here on the screen so you just to verify what I'm saying once I double check that. And you can switch it via this very satisfying clicky button on the back here. And when you click it, it switches to allow you to dial in the color temperature. Click it again, and you can dial in your brightness. Obviously, depending on your setup, you might not want to have it on 100% brightness. For the current setup you see right now, I have both my lights in both these corners on 100% brightness, 4400 K. That seems to be the best for my skin tone and for my setup pretty much in general here. If you are pretty much, once again, of a different skin tone, you might look better with a different color temperature. Or if you're setting up the lights on your talent, lighting someone else, you can switch your color temperature to adjust a bit more. This particular kit, it comes in a set of 2. And it also comes with the AC power supply. If you notice on the back here, there is a battery compartment, so you can throw in your Sony LP batteries if you want to. Again, I'm going to put it up on the screen, the kind of batteries that you will be recommended to use here. But for the AC power supply, you can pretty much use any 12-volt battery, 12-volt AC supply. I'm also going to put the specs of the AC supply that comes with the kit and the one that I'm going to be using to light up a third one, because this guy, it just came in. He is a replacement. When I first got my kit, the button on the back for one of the panels was not clicking. It's so satisfying. Got with VILTROX, they immediately dialed in and started to troubleshoot what was the actual issue by asking me just a few quick questions in an email, and also saying, just send us a short video showing us what the issue is. Once I sent them the video, they immediately noticed that indeed it was a defective panel. They sent another one right out to me. I really, really like great customer support like that. It was a really easy process, and they sent me out one right away. And they didn't even want the defective one back. They just let me keep it. And that's fine, because again, it was just stuck on 4400K because I couldn't switch the dial, and 4400K is what my setup uses anyways. So that worked out quite well for me. So getting into the comparison part of this, when it comes to, I'm gonna put this down. When it comes to lights, there's a couple things you need to consider. I did a light video way back when. I'm gonna put it up in the cards, and it's gonna be on my left or right. I'm gonna put it up in the cards in the top, and you're gonna see the different kinds of, the other 2 kinds of lights, which is the soft box lights and the umbrella lights. These are the 2 most common studio light kits that you see bouncing around YouTube all the time, until you get up into the upper, 100,000K, 1 million, whatever subscriber channels who've been doing it for so long, they may have already moved on to getting their own studios, where that's a whole different thing. But for us guys here, sitting in a little bedroom, talking to our cameras, that's the two most common ones you see. And there's some setbacks when using those kind of lights. One, when it comes to a softbox light, you have to take into the account of the setup time is a lot more difficult. And also the heat, it gets a lot hotter to use those lights, even if the bulbs inside are LED bulbs, it doesn't matter. The heat from the softbox, which is compressing on the light and shooting it out to you, it makes it quite harder to use those lights, especially if you have to put them kind of close to you to light you up. The umbrella lights also have a negative in the fact that a whole lot of light escapes. So they are just as bright. Like for instance, the Savage 500 watt LED kit is just as bright as the VILTROX lights that I have that we're talking about today, but you're not going to notice that. With them at 100% brightness, they do get bright, but they bright up everything because so much light is kind of not really shining down on you as it is spreading over a wide area. And because of the umbrella front, the way that it's set up, you don't get that, you don't get the full brightness that you probably would get if it was designed a little bit differently. Like the VILTROX, where there is no umbrella shade over it, the honeycomb design allows it to push a lot more light out and stay cool so it doesn't heat you up, because the umbrellas, they also heat up the room as well. And not to mention, for some reason, the Savage 500 watt LED kit has this weird buzzing noise. The buzzing, I believe, of a fan that's in there that's cooling that bulb. It's a huge LED bulb that has a bunch of LEDs inside that lights up that kit and brings it through the umbrella shade. It is a little bit more difficult to set up, but it does work. It does get bright. It is an option as well. And that's something for you to consider. Also, the Savage 500 watt has a little bit of a trick under its sleeve. Let me pull it out for you. So the VILTROX has controls built in on the back of the panel, which allows you to control the brightness and color temperature, as we've already talked about. The Savage 500 watt LED kit, umbrella kit here, has a remote that allows you to control up to 4 of them at the same time, and you can control the brightness and the power. So you can turn it on and off, and you can control the brightness like I'm about to do right now. There we are. It's full brightness. Problem with that is, one, this is meant to control multiple of them from one remote. So if you're sharing a light kit and you split it up, you just turn up the brightness of this one and the one downstairs that my wife is using down there for her videos, and it's on max brightness right now. If I hit the off button, I'm going to be doing the same thing, turn them both on and off. That's something to consider, because I think that these particular lights, even though they're good at lighting up the talent, they're okay with that. The VILTROX is better for lighting up you. These kind of lights are better for lighting up the whole room. Like if you had a wider room, you put a 1, 2, 3, 4 right behind me, as I've done in the previous video that I linked earlier. And you'll see that these kind of umbrella lights are really good at lighting up the whole studio. And then you use something like the VILTROX for kind of making sure that certain areas in your studio or your talent is properly lit the way you want. Man, I just cranked this thing up to 100. I don't even know how I look right now. I'm pretty darn bright. Turn that down a bit. Okay. So this is not me saying that the VILTROX are absolutely the best studio lights ever. I really, really love these lights. I really think that they are lights that can help anyone when it comes to their studio. These lights are absolutely good, and especially for the price. I'm only trying to make sure that you guys are thinking about the different reasons and ways you can use different kinds of lights and what they can do for you. Like I said, the umbrella lights are kind of good at lighting up a whole studio. The softbox lights, I would not even bother with. If you're gonna do a softbox lights, which is more good for lighting you and lighting specific areas, you definitely should be getting the VILTROX lights. They'll be a lot easier to handle, a lot quicker to set up, and a lot cooler for you when you're doing longer shoots. Also, these guys do not just come on a stand. You can buy them in singular panels on Amazon. I'm gonna have the links down below. You can buy single panels, you can buy 2 or 3 kit panels, and you can mount one panel on the top of your camera to give you a bit of a softer light, turn down the brightness, obviously, and put like a softer light on you while the other two light the background as well. That's a way you can do this to make sure you have proper lighting in your studio or in your room or wherever you are filming. One more thing I wanted to say about, before I cut off this video here, is about the price. Both the Savage 500 watt LED umbrella kit and the VILTROX are very, very close in price. As of filming this video, they were only separate by about $5 or $6 or something like that. It was pretty darn close. Again, links for all those are going to be in the description box so you can make up your own mind. I hope I have provided enough information for you to be able to make a good decision, a good purchase decision. And when it comes to this, I did want to do a full-on comparison video with different camera settings and all that kind of stuff, like I did in my last studio lights review video so long ago, but I just don't have the time to do that today. So this will have to do. I hope it is good for you. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment box below. I will see you guys in another video. You have a good one. Bye.